YouTube. What's going on? This is Liston 3270 with Liston Unfiltered. Okay. All right. The fight between Artur Beterbiev and Dimitry Bivol is now over. The smoke has cleared and Bivol lost. Okay. Now, I'm trying to put this video together as quickly as I can because I know there's going to be a lot of people salty. There's going to be a lot of people crying about Bivol. I know quite a few people who have lost money by betting on Bivol, and I will first say that I think this was a very good fight, and Bivol's movement and hand speed troubled Beterbiev at numerous times in the fight. Beterbiev couldn't really seem to pin him down, but Beterbiev was landing a very steady, consistent jab, over and over again. For all of the movement that Bivol has, he never really took his head off of center line. Just was always there to get hit with the jab. He was throwing some nice flurries. Going back, in time a little bit, Sugar Ray Leonard used to do this thing where he would look to flurry at the end of a round, or various parts of a round to try to sway the judges to give him a round that he may have otherwise lost. Bivol was doing the same thing. He's throwing these flurries, but see, this is the thing. Punching power matters. It really does. And Bivol, for all of the combination punching, the in and out, for all of that, the angles, all of that good stuff that slick boxers do, he doesn't have any real power. Even when he sits down on his shots, there's nothing on them. I mean, I don't want to sit and act like, he doesn't have power like a Paulie Malignaggi, let's say, or, someone like that. But, he really, really doesn't have much in the way of power. And Beterbiev was just battering him. And, people will sit there, well, oh, man, he's throwing these flurries and, he's landing and he's making Beterbiev look slow and all. But see, that's the thing. A lot of the flurries weren't landing. He was landing some of the shots, but he was missing a lot too. Now, Beterbiev did miss a lot too. That's true. And for some reason, Beterbiev couldn't pin him down, even on the ropes, which, Beterbiev does amazing work usually. I mean, he was doing good, but I guess we have to give credit to Bivol for, being able to take the shots. I mean, but then again, Bivol was actually hurt at numerous times in the fight. He was being pushed back, against the ropes constantly. Constantly getting battered. It's just that, he didn't go down. And, Beterbiev just, there were times where Beterbiev, I think, was losing certain rounds because he wasn't being active enough. And there were times where Bivol was bouncing around and looking very, very good. Beterbiev was lunging. Beterbiev definitely had a problem with Bivol's foot and hand speed, definitely. He stayed in front of Bivol, but when he would try to trap Bivol would always find a way out. But there were times where he would lay on the ropes for too long, try to spin out, and he would get caught, and he would just start taking a lot of shots. To his credit, he was tying up very good when he was really, really hurt. At the end of the fight, Beterbiev didn't have a mark on him. No swelling, no bleeding. Looked like he just stepped out the shower. I mean, just not a mark on him. Not a mark on him. Whereas Bivol, I mean, just swollen eyes. He's talking about it at the end of the fight. The power of Beterbiev and stuff like that. Bivol didn't make any excuses. I know that people who bet on Bivol are going to sit and try to, say it was a robbery. It was not a robbery. Absolutely not. It was a close fight. But, Bivol, the punching power is a big thing. I mean, you're not hurting your opponent. You're landing, you're throwing shots. It all looks good. It all looks good, especially to the fickle-minded boxing fans who just see, all of these flurries and like, oh, man, it's great. Look at him get off. And a lot of it's missing. And I think that a lot of fans, if you know how to really score a fight, there's certain things that aren't going to fly, that are not going to get over on, fans who really understand the sport and how to judge a fight, and how to score a fight. And, Bivol, to his credit, didn't make any excuses. And, he gave a great effort. He took a lot of shots, gave a lot of shots. He looked visibly disappointed and beaten up. But, he didn't make any excuses. And he said if he gets another chance, he would definitely take it. And, he didn't make any excuses. He was a real man and accepted his loss. And he made no excuses. But the people who bet on him will make excuses, because now they're looking at their bank accounts and they've lost on FanDuel and all of these other betting websites. And, I feel for them. It could happen to anybody. But, I think styles make fights. And Beterbiev has some things to work on, too. Cutting off the ring better. And I think he needs to get a little bit busier. He's too slow of a starter. That could have turned out very, very badly for him. If Bivol actually had some pop, things could have been a little bit different. Beterbiev, was very patient, but there's a time where you got to step up and you have to look to put a guy away. And, when he was hurting Bivol, there were times where he was hurting Bivol and he just would let him off the hook, He wouldn't press the fight. He just was intent on standing in front of him and letting Bivol get his bearings and continue to fight. I don't want to say it's a killer instinct thing. I don't think that he's any less of a killer in this fight than he's been in any of his other fights, but I think the sense of urgency, he showed more of an urgency in the final 2 or 3 rounds than he showed the entire fight. And, when you're giving up rounds early, you're putting yourself in a hole. That's the thing with being a slow starter. So I think that Beterbiev needs to work on cutting the ring off and increasing his punch output. But you see, Beterbiev is used to hurting guys, and for guys, notwithstanding his power and, just going through guys, wearing them out. You met somebody tonight that was able to take it and take it well. But it was a very good fight, and I'm sure people will be disappointed. And I know that come tomorrow, everyone's going to be, crying and making excuses, and and then the commentators, just such a horrible job. Let me say that commentators are not supposed to show you who they want to win. They're supposed to be neutral. Even if they are favoring a particular fighter, they're not supposed to show it. But everything is they were riding Bivol like you wouldn't believe. And I mean, I've seen worse commentary. I mean, Timothy Bradley, who I was a huge fan of, some of his commentary is just awful. Oh, just absolutely awful. You know, and some other guys too that are just horrible. Make you just want to mute the volume while you watch the fight. Something a lot of people do. But I enjoyed the fight, and if they run it back, it would be good. Bivol will be back and be back stronger. You know, if there was anything he could have did better, uh, I don't really think there's much he could have did better. I think the power is more of an issue. I mean, you're hitting, just throwing these flurries and stuff, and but there's nothing on him. There's just nothing on him, and when you're intent on just outboxing a guy, now when it goes to the judges to score, they see these flurries, but they're looking at damage as well, and they see your opponent doesn't have a mark on their face, and then your face is swollen and beaten up. I mean, that sways the judges as well. I mean, but and also one final point: the harder punches, punching power matters. I mean, everyone makes a deal about technique and hit and don't be hit, but yeah, but when power punches are landing and you're pushing the guy back and you're now controlling the ring and the pressure that you're putting on your opponent, that matters. That absolutely matters. And that's about my take. Hopefully we'll see a rematch. I wouldn't be surprised if Bivol's camp they try to get the decision overturned or something like that. Bivol already, he didn't make any excuses, but we shall see. But this is gonna definitely be a controversial fight, right up there with like Lara and Canelo and who else? What other fights are there? That's the only one that really comes to my mind off the top of my head right now. But just really, really controversial. But if you like the video, like, share, and subscribe. To the page. I am very active in the comment section, so tell me your opinions of the fight. Who do you think won? Why do you think they won? What would you like to see? Would you like to see a rematch, or was this enough for you to see? And we'll talk about it in the comment section. And till next time, I'm out.